this stage, we're going to talk about Maya interface. Maya interface looks a bit complicated, but if we break it down by parts, it will make it easier for you to understand. Are you ready? Let's start. Like other programs, on just along the top of the screen, you see some standard menus. For example, file menu. If you see, we have new scene, or we can open a new scene, or we have save scene. We have edit menu. As you see, we have cut, copy, paste, or delete. We have create menu. Here you can create different sorts of objects and geometries. We have select menu, modify menu, display menu, windows menu. As you see, there are different windows, and here you can control your scenes. You can edit your scenes. On the right hand side of Windows menu, we have mesh menu, or edit mesh menu, or mesh tools menu. These menus or these tools are used for modeling. As you see, we have a drop-up menu here, and it's the second interface item. So if you just, for example, set animation, as you see, these menus change. Or again, if you change it, or if you switch to rendering, as you see, the menus change again. Here we have some other options like new scene, or open scene, save scene, undo and redo. There are some other options here, and they are for snapping. If you want to snap an object to grids, or you want to snap objects to each other, these tools are used for snapping. Here we have this part. We have just a bunch of options, and these buttons are used for rendering. Above this part, we have another part. This part is called shelf. As you see, we have different tabs here. So each tab is an individual shelf. For example, here we have curved surfaces shelf, and it includes different tools. If you just click on this tab, it's another shelf, and it just has its own tools. Sculpting shelf, and it has its own tools. On the left hand side of the screen, we have other tools. These main tools are used for manipulating our objects in the scene. For example, if you click on this one, it's select tool, or you can choose lasso tool. This one is move tool. This one is rotate tool, or scale tool. So as you see, these tools are the main tools, and you can manipulate your objects in the scene by these tools. Above main tools, you find other buttons. These buttons and these tools control your viewport. What is viewport? This big windows is called viewport. For example, if you choose this one, you have one viewport. If you switch to this one, you have 4 viewports at the same time. If you switch to this one, for example, you have 2 viewports. So above viewports, we have time slider. Time slider is used for animation. Whenever you do animation, you need to use time slider. Above time slider, we have range slider. As you see, just by clicking and dragging, I can decide how much of my animation I want to see. Just range slider allows you to choose how many frames of your animation you wanted to watch, or how much of your animation you wanted to watch. Above time slider, we have mail command box. As you see, there is a box, and for people who are professional and technical in Maya, they can just enter the command here. So you just need to enter a text-based command here, and you can operate Maya this way. Above mail command box, we have help bar. Help bar gives you a nice hand to understand which tool is for what purpose. For example, if you hover over to select tool, as you see on help bar, we have the name of this tool, and if you click on this tool on help bar, it explains how you can use this tool. On the right hand side of our screen, we have other items, or we have other buttons. So as you see, for example, it's modeling toolkit. When you click here, as you see, it shows on the right hand side of the screen as well. So you can control the buttons from here, and at the same time it displays here also. These buttons control this part. This part is called sidebar. So sidebar is controlled by these buttons. So for example, this one is character controls, or this one is attribute editor, and we will be using this a lot throughout our course. Another one, for example, this one is channel box. As you see, when I just click here, it appears here also. Channel box gives you good information about your objects in the scene. Under sidebar, you see playback. You can control, and you just can control playback or frame rates here. Okay, now you have an idea about basics of Maya interface.